this is definitely the best anime of the season. Wait, what do you mean it's a Donghua? Back in like 2023 at this point, I came across a trailer for this one show called To Be Hero X, which made me go insane because of how amazing it looked. But at the same time I also thought that there's surely no way that this can actually be a real show. Or well, if it is a real show, surely it won't be nearly as high quality as in the trailers. Well, turns out I was wrong. And never have I ever been more glad to have been proven wrong, because what an amazing show this is. I mean, just look at this!
勝敗の行方は両者の戦いを見る観衆の心にかかってますね。
Yeah, I know, right? Absolute cinema. This show honestly has it all. The animation is fantastic. The story so far has been really great. The characters are all incredibly compelling. And the twists are absolutely wild. And then there is the setting, which is both very unique, yet also extremely terrifying the more you think about it. Then there is also, obviously, the animation. To Be Rex uses like a dozen different animation styles in total, and somehow manages to not make it feel overwhelming, mainly due to how buttery smooth they manage to make the transitions between the different styles. Sometimes you don't even notice it, and when you do notice it, it's insane. Okay, that is great and all, but what actually is To Be Hero X? And what is the story about? So, To Be Hero X is set in a world wherein anybody can become a superhero. Because in this world, the power system is based on how much people believe in you and how strongly they believe in you. You know, there is this saying that it's the limitations to a power system that is what makes it unique and interesting. And I do have to say that that is something that To Be Hero X does phenomenally well. Because this power system, that uses belief as an energy source, so to speak, whilst the possibilities are in theory endless, it's also extremely easy for things to go very bad, very quickly. And that's what makes it so interesting. Because of the power system's endless possibilities, it can even change you down to your core. If people believe that you're perfect, well, that sounds great, doesn't it? Well, now have fun with extreme OCD. Okay, when I think about it, compared to what some other heroes have to deal with, yeah, I guess extreme OCD doesn't actually sound all that bad. On top of that, the way certain people manages to find ways to manipulate the trust system, be it for good or evil, is quite intriguing. Oh, and I also want to preface that we are talking about genuine belief here. You know, the kind that is coming from the freaking soul itself. So no, fortune trolls would still be as pathetic in this universe as they are in our universe. And I almost forgot, To Be Hero X doesn't have any source material, which means I can't be spoiled, something that tends to happen every single time an anime decides to adapt a manga. Looking at you, JJK fandom. No, this show was in fact birthed from the same mind that is behind Link Click, another phenomenal Donghua, I might add. But that also means that you should expect a lot of character deaths, like a lot of characters dying. One additional thing that is quite unique with To Be Hero X is how there isn't really a main character, so to speak. There's actually 10. Yes, you heard me right. 10 main characters. Anyway, so who might these 10 heroes be then? Well, we got...
Nice.
Chinese Anakin Skywalker. A fucking dog, I guess? Miku. This is literally just Hatsune Miku. And I'm all for it. Girly Pop Terminator. Robert Irvin and whatever this thing is. No, but like, seriously, what is that thing? Edge Lord. Edge Lord, but more purple. Mommy. Sorry, I meant to say mommy. Fuck. And last but certainly not least, Twinkified Colonel Sanders himself. No, but seriously, bro is literally sponsored by KFC in this universe. Or I guess silly me, I meant to say XFC. But yeah, that's basically all the heroes, so far. I also want to mention how the 10 heroes also have their own 1 to 2 minute long promo videos that seemingly won't show up in the TV show itself, so I actually implore you to go give those a watch, and I will link those in the description. I also want to bring up just how insanely good that final E-Soul episode was. It was one of the best TV show episodes I've seen this year, and if more of that is what's in store for us in the future, To Be Hero X might genuinely be my anime of the year, or, well, I guess, Donghua of the year. But, you know, potato, potato. And I also want to highlight the soundtrack a bit, because this show do be having a hella fire soundtrack, okay? Every single hero has even gotten their own theme song. But I feel me rambling about the soundtrack won't really do it justice, so here, take a listen. But beyond the story and music, I also want to highlight the animation studio behind To Be Hero X, which is called B-Dream Studio. A studio that I can best describe as basically being 3 highly decorated Chinese animation studios in a trench coat. Quite literally, actually. With those studios being Studio Lan, Paper Plane Animations, and PB Animations. The show is also directed by my GOAT, Lee Howlin himself, who, as I mentioned before, is also the director behind Link Click, another phenomenal show by the way. But beyond that, he's also known for his work as a director on a plethora of iconic League of Legends cinematics, something the aforementioned studios have also worked on. So in other words, this is an all-star team of animation veterans we are talking about, which might actually be why people originally thought that this show had some insane super budget or something, just because of how insane but also consistent the animation quality is. But no, apparently the budget for this show is quite normal for an animation production of this size. But I guess Lee Howlin just seemingly has the ability to summon the Avengers of Chinese animation, because, you know, he's the freaking GOAT. Okay, but jokes aside, a large portion of the show's quality most likely comes down to the fact that Chinese 2D animation productions generally have significantly better working conditions than their Japanese counterparts. There is obviously outliers in both countries, but the fact that the animators for this show weren't overworked to a point of collapse really shows in the quality. Yeah, I know, who would have thought that giving your animators enough time to finish their work means the show will probably turn out better. Crazy. I know. Mind-boggling, mind-bending, world-altering worldview probably for the people at the top of these Japanese animation companies. Oh right, and did I mention that the show is scheduled for 24 episodes, straight, with most already being finished or close to finished. So, in other words, we are in for a wild fucking ride. And you can for sure as hell bet that I'm gonna be along for it all the way to the end.